Hi. I want to start this channel in a specific way. Not with a trailer, not with a hype video, not with some fancy intro of who am I and what I've achieved. I want to start it with the truth. Because I think this is the only way it's worth anything to you or to me. At 24 years old, I was 150k USD in debt, personal debt. And I remember sitting there looking at the first installment and thinking, there's no way. The thing that people don't understand about debt like this is that it's not the number itself what's scary. It's 4k a month, every single month, just to not dig deeper. And that's before rent, before food, before life. So, how did I get there? And this is important because I think a lot of people end up doing some sort of mistakes. We're all humans at the end of the day. But they just like, oh, I made a mistake. But I want to be specific about my mistakes because specifics matters. You need to learn for the future. I was going to open a music club in Warsaw, a capital city of Poland. And I had everything. I had the vision, I have the perfect place, I have a strong belief in it. And I have a little over half part of the capital. I took a loan myself and my partner was supposed to do it as well. And as you can imagine, that partner turned out to be not who I thought he was. I don't want to go that much into the details because this episode is not about him and I think he don't deserve any attention at all. But the bottom line is I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't check him. I was more of a gut feeling guy back then without the reasoning. So he lied constantly and I was the only one putting the money in. And the business collapsed before it even started. I lost all of the money. So now I'm 24, I have no business, no savings, no real job, and I owe the bank 4k USD every month. I remember one specific night, and this is the kind of thing you don't forget. I was just laying down in the night, staring at the ceiling and doing the math in my head. How I can make it work? Do I have enough? Is there a way? And I kept coming back to the same answer. And here's the thing, I don't say it to sound tough or sound like this incredible story, but I genuinely couldn't go back to 9 to 5 as a software developer, even though I would definitely make good money. Something in me refused. I was a software developer before, and I knew that if I go back again, I can stay there forever. And I wasn't willing to accept it. So what I did is I've become an appointment setter, which is essentially outreaching people on social media or by cold calling and trying to schedule a meeting. Because at least I felt some thrill of emotions of actually working on commission. And I was doing okay. I was setting like crazy, doing around 4.5k USD per month, which, as you can imagine, after 4k going straight to the bank wasn't really that sustainable. It just kinda allowed me to keep living. This went for 2.5 years. 2.5 years of trying to spin up something. A growth agency, a marketing agency, freelance work, salesman work. Obviously, as the time went by, I got better and better in a lot of the skills. So I was able to, for example, be a closer and make 6k per month. But still, it wasn't enough to get me out of debt quickly. Thinking about it now, it wasn't the money what was the hardest in this situation. It was helplessness. It was knowing that you made such a stupid mistake that you can't undo. You can't wake up from it and you just have to carry it forward every single day. I think about this a lot now because I just paid my debt off recently. I look back and I genuinely don't know what kept me going. Maybe fear, the raw ugly kind. The fear of going backwards was greater than the pain of figuring it out. I was trying things. Things were failing, but I was always trying to hold the right image in my mind. I had this one visualization I kept coming back to. My brother, someone I love a lot, congratulates me for paying off the debt. We're almost crying. He's so proud of me. And it invoked so much emotions, and I would just sit with it. Really sit with it. Not as a daily ritual on some sort of millionaire morning routine, from time to time, letting myself feel what it feels like to be free. And I think that matter more than what I can explain rationally. Then TapNote happened. And I'm not going too deep into TapNote today because it deserves its own episode, but it worked. Obviously not from the get-go, and it still needed 1,000 more adjustment, but consistently it was growing and growing. And after 6 months of working on it, we were able to get enough money every single month to get by and focus on it full time without any other hassles. After another 6 months, I was able to fully pay off the debt because TapNote was getting so much momentum. And here we are recently. I made the last payment thinking, okay, now what? And that now what is actually what this channel is about. Because here's the thing nobody tells you, but maybe you internally feel because you're going over the same period as I was going through. When you spend 2.5 years in a survival mode, grinding, building alone, doing everything yourself, you become someone who executes, someone who builds, who ships, someone who carries everything because there's no one else to carry it. And that person is what got me here. And that person is who you need at the beginning of bootstrapped company. That person is what gets you to like 50 or maybe 100K if you leverage AI. But that person is not a person who's gonna build you a 1 million a month business. That's not a person who's gonna build you a nice culture and actually a company which can last a long time, consistently bring more and more value. And that's who I want to become. TapNote is real, the company is real, it's a 7-figure business AR, so quite good. But that same person who built it, the executor, if that's the word, might be the exact person who stands between me and 8-figure business. Because the next level doesn't need a builder. The next level needs operator. It needs someone who can recruit a great talent, someone who have a strong vision, build culture, develop a real network. And I'm not that person yet, but I'm going to figure it out publicly. The idea for this series is built in public, but you are the project. I am the project. Our mindset is the project. In the series, I'm gonna go into recruitment, vision, how to build it all, not necessarily into optimizing onboarding, because full transparency, I don't want to spill the sauce and actually just give what I've learned through sweat, blood, and tears for free. Maybe I will in the future evolve to this point, but not yet. And I just want to be transparent. But definitely, I want to show how you yourself can evolve and design a life you want to live. This is episode 1. Let's go.